Maritime stakeholders have urged port officers to strengthen their capacity and combat corruption in the maritime sector. They made the call during a training on ethics and integrity leadership for port state control officers from 22 countries in West and Central Africa. The training, which held in Lagos, was organized by the Memorandum of Understanding on Port State Control for the West and Central African Region, Abuja MOU, in collaboration with the Maritime Anti-Corruption Network, MACN. Captain Sunday Umorin, Secretary General of the Abuja MOU, says addressing corruption starts with understanding the MOU's key mandate to eliminate substandard ships.
Granted, sometimes corruption is being linked to third world countries and the rest. So your best is coming out clean, showing the world, look, I accept this, I appreciate the fact that there could be that tendency, but however, we are getting guided by the basic principles as advocated by International Maritime Organization. And we from the Secretariat, we are also pushing the maritime administrations to adopt penalty system, reward system, feedback system, such that probably could be a case of caught one, if you are caught once, could be a 3-month suspension, second time 6-month suspension, third time is total termination. You can't be involved in post inspection. So we're looking at having objective inspections, because like we highlighted the consequences of having substandard ships trading in our region. If you go for unethical practices, you are somehow endorsing those consequences. You are part of the problem. So we're looking at eliminating the problems.
Collaboration and cooperation are critical to achieve our goals of infusing transparency and accountability in our port state control efforts, to ensuring that officers conduct themselves ethically and with integrity. The collaboration, therefore, between the Abuja MOU and the Maritime Anti-Corruption Network is not only hailed, but is celebrated, with the broader objectives of pushing ethical standards to the highest levels.
Mr. Adegboyega Oyetola, Vice Chairman of the Abuja MOU and Nigeria's Minister of Marine and Blue Economy, affirmed the federal government's commitment to fostering integrity in port operations. Mr. Vivek Menon, Associate Director for Global Operations and Industry Engagement at MACN, noted that corruption not only affects societies but also impacts trade volumes entering West and Central Africa.
From this, we want to actually have ambassadors for ethics and integrity. We want to have integrity champions who can then take this message forward, and within their respective agencies, they can build this conversation, not just have a conversation, but actually work with addressing corruption problems that happens in seaports. In various agencies, we collect information from the private sector when these are happening, and we want to share that with them and see if there is a way to do this differently, and that is what this training will achieve, which means that hopefully let's say in a year's time, we can actually go back and discuss where are we today. We have a baseline, so as to speak, that we are starting with. So the baseline is, these are the challenges, these are corruption risks that we see. Through this training, can we move the needle towards the right direction? Because this form of corruption not only affects the respective agencies, it affects society at large, it affects the trade volumes that are coming into West and Central Africa, but more predominantly in Africa and the rest of the world.
Maritime sector is a key enabler of economic growth, of socio-economic growth, but surely also through enabling the local stakeholders in these 22 countries, which are actually here to actually work with the ethics and leadership initiatives, because that's part of modernizing the sector. Having more efficient workflows, having an increased transparency into the way they work. And it's documented that will bring growth to the sector. So it's not just something that we would like to do, it's something that we have to do because data say that it makes sense and it improves the sector.
I believe that one of the bane of developments in shipping in Nigeria is corruption. I'm not quoting anybody. What I'm trying to say is that if we can adopt, basic best practices when it comes to leadership, especially in view of the fact that you don't expect leadership to come from the top always, but that individually we can all take up that responsibility of leadership. I feel that that would help to ease business in Nigeria, and also to help give that international outlook that the chamber, that the Nigerian shipping industry is indeed a very viable place to do businesses, and that Nigeria indeed is quite compliant when it comes to ethics and also best business practices.